Hello, I'm Fiona Campbell. I'm an NLP trainer and I specialise specifically in NLP for business. I'm a business master practitioner, clinical hypnotherapist, executive coach and also corporate facilitator. So I wanted to share with you a very simple technique that helps transform team cultures and company cultures from problem focused to solution focused. It's very simple and very powerful. And you'll be able to use this technique with the people that you coach and the people you lead. Now, the first thing to understand about this technique is the fact that your brain is compelled to answer any question you ask it. So this technique works with using language in a very specific way. So what you do, the very first thing you do for this is that you ask someone to choose a problem that they haven't resolved yet. And then ask them to write down 3 reasons as to why this is a problem. And encourage them. You could do this yourself after we finish, but you encourage the person. So you would say, so why is it a problem? And what else? You only want 3 reasons because the word why gives you reason or motivation. Now also, you cannot go to www.problem.com and buy 2 kilos of problems. So problems actually don't exist. In the words of NLP, they're a nominalization. In other words, they are said as a noun, something that should be a verb. Because something that's a big problem for someone else is nothing for another person. So problems are really a perspective of a situation. So let me get back to the steps again. The very first thing you do is you ask someone to write down 3 reasons as to why this is a problem. They get 1, 2, 3. Then the next thing you say, and this is really important, you say what has to happen to resolve that situation. Now, I'm not saying to someone, what do you need to do to resolve that situation? The minute you say to someone, what do you need to do, they're then the centre for the solution. And they might not be able to resolve this themselves. And very often the answer you get, well, I don't know, I'm stuck. But the moment you change that and disassociate that person from the coming up with the solution by saying what has to happen or what needs to happen, you're sending the brain into search mode. And when you send the brain into search mode, people come up with choices. So you then say to someone, okay, so what needs to happen to resolve that situation, or what has to happen to resolve that situation? Write down 5 things that need to happen to resolve that situation. Now, depending who you're working with, sometimes if I'm working with a client and they're stuck, I'll say to them, well, one of the things that needs to happen is you might not have to do something. You might not have to do anything about this at this point of time, or maybe you need to delegate this. So I'm giving them some hints of possible solutions. But very often just asking that, people will write down the 5. And if they get stuck, again, you ask the question, that killer question, and what else? Because and what else is presupposing there's more to come. So once the person is finished, they then have a list of 3 reasons as to why this is a problem, and they have a list of 5, sometimes 6, 7 of possible solutions. So the next thing I would say to someone, okay, out of these possible solutions, now remember the possible solutions are more like a brainstorm. They're not definitive answers to the situation. They're just ways that could possibly get this problem or this situation resolved. So then I would say to them, okay, out of this list here, which is the best one to start with first? And just by doing that, you've helped someone really change their mindset from being problem focused to solution focused. Now, also when you're doing this, it's really important that you're aware of your state. You're aware of how you ask this. Because if someone comes to you with a problem and says, I've got a problem, and you go, oh, what's your problem? Just by going, oh, what's your problem, and going into the same state as they're in, you've made that problem really real for them. So instead of doing that, when you answer very neutrally, okay, so what's the situation? Tell me more about the situation. So straight away, by changing the word from problem to situation, you have changed the way that person thinks about that situation. And then once you get to their talking about the situation, okay, so what needs to happen to resolve this? I have worked with many people who've come back to me, many senior executives and managers who have used this technique with their teams and said, it's incredible, Fiona. What happens is over a period of up to a week, couple of weeks, it happens really quite quickly. People start coming to you with maybe a choice of two solutions. So instead of coming for you to solve their problem, they're solving their problems, but they're still wanting a little guidance as to which is the best solution. So this can really be transformative for a company to start getting people moving into the culture of solution focused rather than problem focused. I hope you found this useful. Please, after you watch this video, get a piece of paper and go and do this for yourself. And my name's Fiona Campbell, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye.